Hi, so today's video is looking at how to create a climate graph using numbers or Excel. I've got a Mac computer at home, so the example I'm showing you is how to do it using numbers, but the process and the column titles and how to insert the graph are exactly the same as on Excel. And if you go to the website and download the assignment sheet, that will actually give you a little bit more detail about exactly how to use Excel to get the information. Hi, so today I'll be showing you how to create your own climate graph using numbers on a Mac, but the process is very similar on a Windows computer like the laptops that you'll be using at school. So the idea of creating your own climate graph is creating the weather that you'll be experiencing when you start writing about living on the 3D model land that we've created. So you're looking at, in a climate graph, the rainfall and the temperature. So the first things that we'll enter are our headings. So we have our months, our rainfall, and our temperature. So they're the three things that we will be entering. So we'll start off with, now I'm just going to do the January, December. So there are the months of the year. Now I'm going to be looking at the rainfall. So this is where you can decide how much water you're going to have available to you. As an average in Port Lincoln, we get approximately 80 to 9 millimetres of rain in winter. So you can base your decisions on the amount of rain that we're sort of getting at the moment in July. If you want it to be like that the whole year round, then those numbers can be reflected the whole year round, or you might have summer, winter, autumn and spring like we do, where you have lower rainfalls during the summer and spring and autumn periods. But I'm going to go with a country with a high rainfall. So my numbers are going to be right up there pretty much all year round. So I want a pretty consistent wet climate. Let's shake it up a little bit. There we go. And big rainfall in December. So now I've set myself up with a country or a place that has rather high rainfall all year round. Now when it comes to the temperature, this is where I decide whether it's going to be hot or cold with all that rain. Obviously with all that rain and colder temperatures, if I go to below zero or just above zero, I'm going to end up with snow. But if I go to hotter climates, so if I end up with temperatures of 30, 40 degrees all year round, I'm going to end up in a humid climate. So I'm going to go tropical, so I'm going to keep my climate fairly high all year round. So just entering the figures that you want. Oh, 55 is a bit high. Okay, we don't want to be there in December. So we end up with very humid environment. Now to create the actual graph, our next step is to highlight the information that we want to use. And then in Excel, there is actually a graph that you can specifically use if you go to the Insert tab on Excel. But on a Mac, if we select the graph, what we're looking for is a graph that shows columns and a line. So our temperature will be shown as a line and our columns show the rainfall. So if we select that, now we can actually see here that this is done it the other way around. So this is shown the rainfall as a line and the temperature as columns. So we need to change that. So I'm just going to go to the axis, and there is an easy way to change this. I can't remember which is the easy way to change it. Title reference. No. You know what I'm going to do as my easy way to change it? I'm actually just going to change these columns around. So we'll put the temperature first. So in a Mac it's quite easy to click and drag, and there we have it. So there we have our temperature shown as a line and our rainfall shown as a column. Now there is another way that you can change the graph itself, but it looks like, particularly for a Mac, that it works if you put the temperature first and the rainfall second. I think on a Windows you put the rainfall first and the temperature second, and then you'll end up with this graph that shows the two. So we can see straight away by looking at this that the rainfall is extremely high, and there is a consistently high temperature all year round as well. Only other thing I think I'll add to it is we'll add a title. Okay, I was trying to find a way that we could show both scales, and I realised that I've actually selected the wrong graph. So if we go back to the original data and click on chart, Numbers actually offers this option, and as you can see, the black line showing both sides, and that brings up the climate graph that shows the temperature on this axis and the rainfall on this axis, and that's more suited to what we want. And we can obviously then go through and adjust the size. And for this exercise, I'd like you to simply copy and paste that onto a Word document or a Publisher document and print off your climate graph that will match your model. You don't have to worry about printing off the table. You can if you like, so you can click the whole page and select it, but primarily we're looking at this end result, which theoretically is an easier way of looking at the climate and the temperature rather than looking at numbers on a chart anyway. Okay, and you're done.